For more on today's expulsion, we are joined by Senator TJ Shope, second in command in the Arizona State Senate from Coolidge. Senator, thank you for coming down and good to see you.
Thanks for having me on.
So this is a little bit unprecedented what happened today, and I think that people will look at this and they will say, had she not gone after Republicans and Democrats, that we might not have seen this expulsion today. How would you respond to that?
Well, I think I'd respond first off to your first point of how unprecedented. It's only the fifth time in Arizona history that a representative has been expelled from the chamber. I think that I would say that yes, there was a much like a couple of the others that have preceded her, the idea that it was indiscriminate of either party, the idea that it happened within the confines of a legislative function via that committee hearing that took place is also probably, I would say, the lead factor in this overall.
You've always been very outspoken about the need for decorum and process within the legislature. So when you heard this, how outlandish was it to your ears?
It's amazing. I am very much my father's son. He was a mayor for 16 years and grew up, watching him conduct a meeting. I've tried to emulate that as much as possible, and I was just happened to be two doors down during this committee hearing in an appropriations hearing. And even there, within the same confines of the same building, I don't think anybody really knew what was happening, two doors down. And frankly, I think we had gavelled out for the afternoon. And I get home and I see that this had occurred, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what is this? But immediately, because you don't want to just cast the first, well, certainly there has to be more. How did this happen? You start looking, you start reaching out to your friends or colleagues and things like that, and immediately you're taken to, wait a minute, was this planned? Was this orchestrated? How did this all come to be? And I think sometimes it takes some time to figure all of those questions out.
It's one thing, and Liz Harris did, it's one thing to run on election denialism and conspiracy theories. But then to bring in someone to speak before a committee who is so outlandish as to suggest that members of both parties and the governor are on the take somehow from the cartel, it makes your head explode, doesn't it?
It really does. And I think that, when you see, and not only that, a quick cursory Google search of some of these accusations would have probably turned up that this is bogus. There's no here. When you can't even figure out the correct first name of the governor or of the Speaker of the House or Senator Bennett, who's been in elective office for decades and still lives in, I believe, his home from decades ago. That really makes you begin to question what type of person are you bringing in to testify as an expert in a legislative committee. And as a chair of a committee, it is something that we always do our due diligence on, or at least should, of the people that we are at least asking to come and present to us. People from the general public that come in for public testimony, that's a separate deal. They're, many times they're doing the best they can with the information they have. But the people that are asked to actually present, we're believing that they're presenting facts to us. And obviously that was not the case.
I also asked the senator about Governor Katie Hobbs' first 100 days in office. We'll have his reaction to that coming up for you tonight on 12 News at 10.